Is Gonzalo Lira a patriot? Hello, everybody. This is Tim. Welcome to the Trailer Trash Tim channel. How's your mama and them? I hope everybody's well on this hot Monday morning here in Alabama. We're probably going to flirt with 100-degree temperatures all week. I got a question for you. What is the #1 selling item at Walmart? If you're not in America, our biggest retailer is Walmart. I'm curious if you know what the #1 item that is sold at Walmart is. No Googling. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll answer that question for you. But see if you can figure that out without looking it up. Before I continue, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel down below. Give this video a big thumbs up and like it. I would really appreciate that. There's a link down below to buy me a coffee. If you find the content valuable, you can say thank you by buying me a coffee. I am stunned and amazed and enthused that we are flirting with 2,000 subscribers. It's just fantastic. We're well up into the 1900s. So go ahead and get us over the hump here today on Monday, August, what is it, 21st, 20th or 21st? I think it's the 20th. Anyway, on to what I want to talk to you about. Is Gonzalo Lira a patriot? I don't want to get bogged down into the Gonzalo Lira story because I've covered that in many other videos. It's not hard for you to find out who Gonzalo is. I've talked about him quite a bit. But I want to ask the question, is he a patriot? How about Edward Snowden? Is Edward Snowden a patriot? Julian Assange, is he a patriot? How about the people who are in a cage in Washington, D.C. because they went to a rally in their nation's capital and they're being held indefinitely? Are they patriots? What is a patriot and what is patriotism? And is Gonzalo, who is an American citizen, he has dual citizenship with America and Chile, is he a patriot? Well, I guess we need to talk about what patriotism is. Now, I don't know how you define patriotism, but I know how I would define the word patriotism. Patriotism to me is defined by simply being a person's love for their country, a love for their homeland. After that, they may believe different things about how their country should operate, how their government should operate. But a patriot to me is a person who has a burning love in his heart or her heart for their homeland. Now, I'm an American. I live in the United States. I was born in the state of Georgia in the year of our Lord, 1961. I love my country. I love America. I love everything about it. Sometimes I'll watch videos of people who go to great places of interest in America, the Grand Canyon, Alaska, and, you know, I love that. I would love to see the country. That's really what my channel is all about, is getting me ready to go traveling to see the country. But anyway, I love my country. I love what we've been able to accomplish as a country. I'm proud of the fact that I am an American. I am not in love with our current government. I'm not in love with a lot of my fellow Americans who I believe are quite misguided. Not all, but a lot of them are. We have a lot of different values represented in this country that's referred to as the melting pot. There are people with whom I may have political disagreements, but they also are people who may very well love their country, and I would consider to be patriots. Now, in 2016, our general election came down between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Why did Trump win? Was it simply on matters of policy? I would contend that if I laid down a list of policies that were embraced and maintained by Donald Trump and took his name out of the mix, there'd be probably a lot of people, a lot of Americans who would say, yeah, I agree with that. But if you showed them later that it was Donald Trump who was a proponent of these policies, they'd recoil in horror because they hate Trump for whatever reason. But I believe that the appeal of Donald Trump and the way he was able to reach across party lines and assume the presidency was because, it seemed to me anyway, that Donald Trump was a man who loved his country. And to me, Hillary Clinton impressed me as a person who did not love her country, but didn't love Americans. You may remember there was a time during her campaign when she referred to Trump supporters as deplorables. She said you could put half his supporters in a basket, and that would be a basket full of deplorables. Now, I don't know who was advising her. I don't know who told her to say that, or if that was just something she dreamed up on the spur of the moment. But that was a truly stupid thing to say, because if you're trying to win an election, the last thing you want to do is alienate people. And she just alienated a whole swath of voters who may otherwise have voted for her. But Trump impressed me as someone who loved his country and wanted to make his country great. He campaigned on that, make America great again. I didn't agree with Trump on a lot of things, but I never doubted his patriotism. I looked at Trump and I said, this guy wants what is best for America. Whether I think it is what's best for America, I don't doubt that he would not knowingly do anything that was bad for America. And to his credit, Donald Trump, the greatest thing about his presidency, as I have said, is he kept us out of a shooting war. How refreshing was that? How was that for a change, to have an American president who didn't get us involved all over the world? You know, he didn't do a lot to get us out of hot spots in the world, but at least he didn't start anything of substance anywhere in the world. So he deserves high marks for that. But he was a man, I believe, who really loved his country. Now, here's what happens. There's an old saying that patriotism is the last refuge to which a scoundrel clings. You may remember after the attacks of 2001 on the World Trade Center, very quickly, then President Bush rammed through Congress something that was called the Patriot Act. There weren't a lot of Americans vocal in opposition about the Patriot Act. And it was a very sly thing done by Bush, if you ask me, to name this the Patriot Act, because nobody wants to be called anything other than a patriot in time of war, right? What do you mean? You don't support the Patriot Act? What, don't you love your country? What are you, some kind of a communist? Well, just because an American wouldn't support the Patriot Act doesn't mean they're not a patriot. The devil is in the details, and there was a lot of devil in those details. The Patriot Act was a horrific piece of legislation that was rammed through Congress and signed by Bush, where it only gave more power to the state. And since that time, the United States government has become even more of a police state thanks to the Patriot Act. You don't have to be a patriot and support the Patriot Act. You could oppose the Patriot Act, and that'd be the patriotic thing to do. And that's exactly what my favorite modern-day politician, Ron Paul, did. He opposed it. He called it for what it was. And in the face of great opposition, he said, basically, I'll never support this. There's nothing patriotic about the Patriot Act. What if we had a president who was flagrantly anti-war? Would it be patriotic to support that president? Because a lot of times now, if we have a president who bangs the drums of war, a lot of people are looking around saying, well, you're going to support him, right? He is the president. But is supporting the president always the patriotic thing to do? Is supporting the policies of your government always the patriotic thing to do? Or is opposing a president who you believe is wrong the patriotic thing to do? Or is opposing a government who has gotten far too big for its britches the patriotic thing to do? Is opposing a government who declares war on another sovereign nation, when you stand in opposition to that, is that the patriotic thing to do? And could it be that Gonzalo Lira is a patriot? Now, Gonzalo Lira is in jail right now, as far as we know, because he has called out the American government for interfering in this debacle between Russia and Ukraine. And I think he was right to do so, and I believe he was a patriot for doing so. I don't agree with him on everything he's ever said. But patriotism, to me, is exhibited when a person loves their country and they speak out on their convictions. They might be wrong, they might be right, but if you love your country, you're a patriot. And if you love your country so much that you're willing to sacrifice for the betterment of your country, for the good of your country, you're a patriot as far as I'm concerned. You know, I've never served in the military. I'm the son of a veteran who did fight in combat in World War II, and he was a patriot. But you know what? I would defend my homeland if need be. I would defend my family if need be, because I love my country. And just because I don't support what my government is doing does not mean I'm not a patriot. Patriotism does not require you, friends, to agree with what your government is saying and doing. Those are my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. If you would give me your thoughts, your comments down below. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you think what I'm saying is nuts? Maybe you do. Maybe I am nuts. But that's what patriotism is all about to me. Okay, what's the #1 selling item at Walmart? Did you guess? Bananas. It's bananas. Is that bananas? Hey, thanks for watching. I'll be back with a short later today with the album pick of the week. Thank you so much for joining me here on a Monday. I really appreciate it. This is Trailer Trash Tim. Everybody take care and stay cool. I will see you later.